So notice this, in the midst of that war is what causes things to turn back around eventually for Jephthah, because we continue to read. And so it was, when the people of Ammon made war against Israel, that the elders of Gilead, Gilead, the region named after his father, reputable man, leader of the community, politician, very respected. But he just had this proclivity toward prostitutes and one of them happened to have a child. I got to digress a moment, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. Why is it that we laud, applaud, herald people who are in positions that if you really knew what they did behind the scenes, but someone who's lower on the socioeconomic standing of life, blue collar, working poor, why is it that we debase them and don't see value in them who has a pure heart? There is no guile within them, honor God in every area of their life, made sacrifices, and have gone through stuff that people will never, ever even know about. But someone who seems to be upstanding, i.e. Gilead, just because they have a lot of money and a lot of prestige, everyone wants to be linked with them. This is one of the reasons why I love Jesus so much. He never sought people like that. He sought out the working poor. He sought out the people, somebody needs to hear this. He sought out the people that no one else was seeking out. He sought out the people that were overlooked, overworked, overtaxed, just overburdened by life. Sought them out, had dinner with them, blessed them, began to tell them, look at this, look at this. God says, Jephthah, you're a mighty man of valor. Well, let's see, my daddy disowned me. Stepmom disowned me, stepbrothers disowned me. My real mom, who I really don't know, I heard who she was, but I'm not sure. She's still a prostitute. And you see value in me? So the elders of Gilead, meaning the leaders, the upstanding citizens of the community. Again, when, the men who brought the lady caught in the act of adultery, because that was the only way you could actually stone an adulteress. There had to be at least 2 eyeball witnesses that she was committing adultery. They bring her to Jesus. We're familiar with that, right? John chapter 8. They bring her. We know the rest of it, but do we know all the details? Because if you notice this, is that 2 things. Is that, we know what Jesus said. Of course, he's drawing in the ground, just ignoring him, saying, oh, why do I have to put up with idiots like this? But anyway, I was at the mother of idiots is always pregnant. But anyway, why am I? You never heard that? He probably said something like that, I'm sure. Some say, oh, no, he's probably praying for him. But anyway, so he's just ignoring him, and he stands up. We know what he said. He was without sin. Let him cast the first stone. Okay, those of you, see, this is what this means. You probably heard me say this, maybe someone over the years, maybe you said this on your own. This is what this meant. That if you were going to mete out or carry out judgment upon someone under the Mosaic law, you had to be blameless. You had to be guiltless of that sin that you're passing judgment and execution in. Why do you think the Bible says that they didn't even pick up a rock? They started to leave. You ever notice this? They started to leave from the oldest to the youngest. Because the older guys were much more guilty than the younger guys, but they were all guilty of adultery. That's why they couldn't judge her. That's why they couldn't throw stones at her. So Jesus asked a rhetorical question. He knew, of course, she didn't fully understand then. Now we fully understand. When he says, a woman, where'd your accusers go? I believe he said it like that. He said it in almost a caustic, almost, just this hint of just frustration to a degree too. Where'd your accusers go? He's aiding her at the same time because he wants her to know that, look, that ain't me and that ain't God. She said, well, oh, they're all gone. And you know the rest of that. Go and sin no more. But isn't that interesting? The reason why they couldn't cast the stones and why they couldn't pass judgment on her is because they were guilty of the very sin. So now you got these other upstanding citizens, the self-righteous, coming to get Jephthah to help. So I set that up because you got to read, because if not, you think, oh, Jephthah shouldn't have acted like that. And that's how many times we read the Bible. Look at this. Verse 6. Then they said to Jephthah, so Gilead went to get Jephthah from the land of Tob. Then they said to Jephthah, come and be our commander. Oh. Because see, they've been hearing about Jephthah. They've been hearing that, man, he's leading raids and he's overcoming our enemies. Man, he's been defeating our enemies even out there on the east bank of the Jordan River. Man, as a matter of fact, the reason why we haven't been attacked and subdued by all of our enemies on the east side of Jordan River, because Jephthah's been taking care of them all. Jephthah's been covering us this whole time, even though we expelled him. You gotta stay pure in heart when people treat you bad. You gotta forgive. You gotta forget it. You can't hold on to it. You cannot let any root of bitterness build up. See, now do we understand this? He's on the east. That's why I brought that out a couple weeks ago. Tob was on the east side of Jordan River. Because not only the Israelites have enemies all within Israel, north of them, south of them, but also east of them. All of them are marauding tribes that hated Israel. And many times when you read the Bible closely and you begin to, they all lived over there. Well, Jephthah is raiding them. He's pillaging them. He's conquering, defeating Israel's enemies. See, this is how God sets you up. Is that when people despise you, you bless them. You keep praying for them. Oh my, somebody need to hear that. You keep moving forward, because if not, you're going to stay back there. And then what happens? The bitterness, the resentment, all that begins to build up, and it affects you and not them. And you see them moving on, but you're not moving on. And you wonder why. It's because you held that stuff in your heart. Yes, they treated you bad. Yes, you have a right to complain. Yes, you have a right to say, God, look what you have that right. But get it out. Flush it out of your spirit, your soul, and your mind. Let it go. That's one of the many things that is meant when David said, I poured out my complaint unto God. Because in the greater context, man, he's treated unjustly, unfairly, people lying about him, people trying to kill him for no reason whatsoever. I mean, people he cared for. People he blessed financially. He gave and gave and gave and gave. They turn on him and stab him in the back 1,000 times over. So David got it out. He said, I'm going to flush this out because I do not want to carry this in my spirit. He got rid of it, poured out his complaint, got healed, restored, moved on. Somebody say moved on. That's what Jephthah did. So he's over there, and he realized, hey, these people eventually could attack Israel. So I'm going to take care of everything on the eastern front here. That's why the elders of Gilead, they start hearing about this. They start hearing of the exploits of Jephthah. Say, man, that guy's a great warrior. We need him back. We need him on our side. Okay, so you go back, go get him, do whatever it takes to get him back. So I said to Jephthah, we'll make you commander if you'll just come and fight against the people of Ammon. So Jephthah said, I love this, said to the elders of Gilead, did you not hate me? Now see, if we're not careful, see, that's why I gave you all that backstory. If we're not careful, we say, oh, Jephthah still had something in his heart. He didn't either. He's just kind of goading them. He's just kind of chiding them. See, now he's just having a little fun. And see, it's all right to have fun with your enemies when it comes full circle. But still don't go overboard with it. I'll leave it. That's, all of us are laughing because we said, oh, either I've gone overboard or okay, that's good. I won't go overboard next time. But anyway, he said, And come on, you got to be honest. Sometimes it's easy to go overboard, right? When it does come full circle, because really, it's not good to say, I told you so. Or it's not good to say, well, I know, anyway, it's about time you finally recognize who I was and all that. Jephthah, he didn't do that, but just listen, he goes, now didn't you hate me? And didn't you expel me from my father? Didn't you kick me out of my father's house, which this is referring also the region of Gilead? My brothers kicked me out of the house, literal house, and then you told me I couldn't even stay in Gilead. Like the bad sheriff in a Western movie. I'm the good guy, even though people think I'm the bad guy. Oh, can I relate with that? I'm the good guy, even though people think I'm the bad guy, and the bad sheriff runs me out. Oh, I'm just having a self-reflective moment. You got to give me a moment here, church. So anyway, Jephthah, he was the good guy. They labeled him as a bad guy, and the bad sheriff / the leaders of Gilead ran him out of Gilead. They said, you better get out of town before sundown. I said, okay, I'm out of here. So anyway, so now they come. So he asks, didn't you even expel me from the land of the region of Gilead, which belonged to my father, named after my own father? By the way, where's he? Oh, we could keep going. I got to go on, though. See, everyone's been hurt. We've all experienced it. Why do you think this stuff is in the Bible, especially when you fully understand it? There are certain movies, almost any movie can speak to me, unless it's a real bad movie like I saw last week, but I got a good 2-hour nap. So, anyway, at least I got a good nap. But so I didn't get anything out of that movie. 10 minutes into, you can pretty much tell. Come on. Give the movie, give it about 10, 15, 20 minutes max. If it ain't starting to kind of gel, go get your money back. Because, here at Harkins, you can do that. You just go to the manager and say, it didn't do a thing for me. I said, well, it's only been going for 5 minutes. But I could tell. I could just tell going the wrong direction. But anyway, don't watch 90% of it and then say, I'll get my money back on this. They won't do it. I found out. But anyway, and I thought, oh, no, it's not. And, it's one of those theaters, those nice, new, big reclining chairs. I thought, no, it's not worth it. I can tell this thing ain't going nowhere. So anyway, I thought, no, I'm just taking a nap. So I got a good 2-hour nap, woke up, people were leaving. I said, wow, that's a great day. Praise God. So anyway, got nothing out of that movie. Most movies I watch, I can get something out of it. You guys remember Black Hawk Down, right? I know it came out, 15 years or so ago. Great movie, of course, based upon a true account of what our soldiers went through and endured at Mogadishu. So anyway, very accurate account too, if you know the history of it. But anyway, remember the one scene, I forgot the actor's name, the one guy with brown hair. But anyway, what is that guy's name? He also played in Saving Private Ryan. You know the guy. See, that bugs me. I got to have his name now. Somebody help me with his name while I keep talking. But anyway, you know who I'm talking about, right? So anyway, kind of a big guy, Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore. See, look at that. Look at that. Okay, anyway. So, they're getting shot at. He keeps driving through the city of Mogadishu, to bring ammo, to get people out, the soldiers out, doing all they can, trying to make some kind of victory throughout this thing. So, one of the trips he's going in, they're just getting hammered, just bam, 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 shot. Some of his guys back there, they've already been shot and killed and all that. And this is a new passenger, and he gets in, and he's kind of wounded too, and so they take off, and they're driving, trying to get him out of there. And this guy, he's just kind of like just breaking down. All this. And Tom Sizemore basically says, "Shut up." He said, we're all getting shot at. We're all going through this, man. It's not just you. I'm right here with you. Caveat on that, right? Is that don't ever say that to someone if you're not going through it with them. Right. Don't ever be on the outside of somebody's life and they're going through hell and high water and say, oh, we're all going through it like hell you are. You ain't going through what they're going through if you ain't going through what they're going through with them while they're going through it. Don't ever tell anybody that. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what they've been fighting. You have no idea. So don't ever say that. But if you are in it with them, if you truly are in it with them, and if they keep going off like that, then eventually you need to remind them, hey, listen, we've all been shot at. We've all been hit. We've all been hurt. We're all hurting here. We're bleeding. Some are dying. But let's stay focused. Let's get out of this thing. I said all that to say this. Jephthah realized that he was not the only one that had been through isolation, rejection, and scorn by people. He did not let it affect him. And when he came into other people's lives, he realized, you've gone through stuff. I've gone through stuff. This is a new chapter. It's a new day. It's a new life. Let's make something bigger and better than ever before. Amen. So, we got so much stuff. I got to keep going here. How are we doing so far? We enjoying this? Look at this. So he says, I haven't got kicked out of my father's territory, his province even. Why have you come to me now when you are in distress? I got to keep moving. The elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, that is why we have returned actually again to you now, that you may go with us and fight against the people of Ammon and be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Just real quick, let me just encapsulate this. Bottom line is this. I want to bring this to your attention, which he did go with him. You know the rest of that. Your breakthrough comes in the midst of a battle. A battle always brings forth your breakthrough. I'll say it couple different ways. I wrote that down. It should be on the screen there. Is that your breakthrough will always come to pass in the midst of a battle. So look at this. War breaks out, battle breaks out between Ammon and Israel. It took a battle to come to pass to eventually link up with, again, Jephthah, which this eventually caused his greatest breakthrough in his entire life and the greatest breakthrough of the history of Israel up to this point, just about. And listed also in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, the New Testament. Your breakthrough, and I don't know why we forget this at times, but your breakthrough is always, it's in the midst of a battle, it's at the beginning of a battle, it's at the end of a battle. It always comes when it's connected to a battle. So when you are going through a battle, you need to realize my biggest breakthrough is about to come through. My biggest breakthrough is about to occur. So all of those other smaller but still significant battles that Jephthah went through on the east side of the Jordan River, he knew that this one was going to be the whole enchilada because this was against Ammon. And they go back hundreds and hundreds of years, centuries and centuries of opposition and hatred and strife and warring and all of that. So he knew that this is going to be the biggest battle of my life, but it's also going to be the biggest breakthrough. You may be going through the biggest battle of your life right now. You can't focus on the biggest battle. What you got to start focusing on and imagining, this is going to be your biggest breakthrough.
For more information about our teaching resources, visit our website at ciclive.com.